Hello everyone, my name is Siobhán Ní Ghuairim and today I will be speaking about Turkey and its plans for nuclear energy. Energy needs are directly related to the development of a country and its living standards for its people. Turkey is in a rapid industrialisation process with a growing population which lands at around 81 million today. According to an IAEA report, energy demand has been increasing at an annual rate of 6.7%. As I believe will have been explained in the previous presentation, Turkey is a net importer of energy with extremely limited oil and natural gas reserves. According to the Centre for American Progress, it is the country with the fastest growing market for electricity by demand. So in this presentation, I will be exploring the need for nuclear energy, what nuclear energy consists of, plans for nuclear plants in Turkey, and issues arising from them. So my problematique is, will nuclear power reduce or increase dependency on foreign energy suppliers? In brief, the idea for building nuclear plants is to limit Turkey's expensive dependency on foreign energy suppliers. When we look at the proposed plant projects later, you may notice that they are extremely dependent on foreign investors. So there is a possibility that these projects may not truly be releasing Turkey from its dependency on others. Before I begin, I'd really like to start with a few relevant policies and terms. So Turkey is bound by international and bilateral agreements when it comes to nuclear energy production. Turkey is a party to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, which limits nuclear power states to just 5. It's also party to the Comprehensive Test Ban, which bans them from conducting nuclear tests, as well as the Chemical Weapons Convention and the Biological Weapons Convention. PPA is a power purchase agreement, and it's a contractual agreement between energy buyers and sellers. They come together and agree to set an amount of energy for a fixed price, which will be generated by a renewable asset. PPAs are generally signed in the long term, say 10 to 20 years even. So you have the APC there, the NSC, TAEK, and also the IAEA, which is incredibly relevant. It is the International Atomic Energy Agency, and they are the world's central intergovernmental forum. It's within the UN framework as well, for their system for scientific and technical cooperation in the nuclear field. This mission statement reads that they work for safe, secure, and peaceful use of nuclear science and technology, contributing to international peace and security and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So what is nuclear power? For those who may not know, nuclear power uses fission, which is the splitting of atoms in a nuclear reactor. This creates heat, which is used to turn water to steam to propel turbines. A single uranium pellet, which would be about the size of a rubber on top of a pencil, contains the same energy as a ton of coal, 3 barrels of oil. Nuclear energy accounts for about 10% of the world's energy supply. Nuclear power is, as compared to gas, coal, or oil, seen as a much riskier investment for private companies. However, nuclear energy actually ranks last in deaths per unit of energy, according to a NASA study, which is in my bibliography. Think about how the byproducts of fossil fuels are pumped into the air at enormous rates. Nuclear byproducts are heavily monitored, and they have to be stored incredibly deep into the earth when they're disposed of, well below the biosphere, as opposed to the likes of CO2 in our atmosphere. You may vividly remember the events of, say, Chernobyl in the 80s, for example, but remember that people actually are dying every day as a direct result of oil and coal, in terms of cancer, in terms of breathing air. So nuclear could actually be a better option in terms of CO2 emissions and climate change. But it's definitely just a mid-term solution. I believe it's generally accepted that it's a risky form of energy, but it also has the ability to draw us away from non-renewable sources in quantities that solar and wind just haven't been able to do. The energy that is produced by nuclear power plants is renewable, but the fuel that is required is not renewable, so it's kind of a stepping stone between the two. So why is nuclear energy necessary for Turkey? Well, Turkey established its first nuclear reactor in 1962, and ever since then has conducted research using them. Turkey has also made several attempts to develop nuclear power plants since then, which have all failed due to logistics, site issues, and finances, among other reasons. The prospect of gaining independence from imported energy sources is incredibly appealing, because as it stands, the ratio of production to consumption will be reduced to 23.5% in the early 2020s, and this situation will cause serious risk for sustainable development. In other words, Turkey will have to import 76.5% of the energy it consumes in the 2020s. That's not ideal. Turkey's economic priorities include reducing the impacts of fossil fuel use and rapidly increasing energy production, which has been aided by nuclear energy. So, the actual products in line right now, Akuyu is a joint project between Turkey and Russia, which was established for Akuyu in 2010. The project is based off a build, own, operate model. The construction of the first unit is due to be completed by 2023, which is a centenary year. In Erdogan's 2023 vision, released in 2010, officials foresaw the launch of 3 nuclear power plants in Turkey at the time of the anniversary. That is clearly not going to happen based on how things have been developing so far. Really, this wasn't going to happen before the pandemic, but I don't think the pandemic has helped. One Akuyu reactor in operation is the most that really can be hoped for. It is essentially a Russian project. Russian nuclear conglomerate Rosatom, the Russian State Atomic Energy Corporation, initially holds a 100% share of the APC, a share that will not drop below 51%. So they will always have majority shareholder status. The government of Russia will be the guarantor of the project. So although it's not a direct government project, it's very much linked. They will supply nuclear fuel by means of a fuel fabrication plant. Energies in this plant will be about 30%. Turkish, so it's expected that a large population of the workers will be Russian. So what effect will this have? Well, initially there will be a 15-year-long PPA, so that's that power purchase agreement, that designates that about half of the electricity provided will go to the Turkish state-owned company EUAS, which is Electricity Generation Joint Stock Company. The remainder will be sold on the open market, and then when that deal with the EUAS runs out, all of the electricity will be sold on the open market, with the 20% of profits going to the Turkish government. The plant is due to produce 35 billion kilowatts per hour of electricity annually, which accounts for 10% of Turkey's total energy supply. So then also had another project which is kind of up in the air right now. This Sinop nuclear power plant was a planned nuclear project run on Turkish-Japanese cooperation. The IAEA for this project was signed in 2013. Again, Turkish authorities would hold a minority share of max 49%. Japanese knowledge on dealing with the threat of seismic issues, so seismic issues are just related to earthquakes, has been hard-learned, and their expertise would have been instrumental. However, by 2018, a major shareholder, Itachi, which was a Japanese corporation, who had been investing in the project, withdrew. It's likely due to the cost jumping from the proposed $15.8 billion to $6 $6 billion, as well as the falling value of the Turkish lira. The project is still expected by some to kick off this year, as reports suggest, if Ankara can find a new partner after Itachi and Mitsubishi pulled out last year. So, in all honesty, I don't know if anyone knows what's going to happen with this plant, as reports have been varying really wildly and it wasn't very clear. So, there's also a lot of controversies and objections. Reports taking what has happened in Fukushima not that long ago, protests in the form of human chains, were actually like 20 kilometers long, took over a highway, protesting the IAEA project, and as well as that, Cyprus has seen protests of their own in relation to the proximity that they are to the plant. But I believe the biggest issue of all has been the threat of earthquakes, but there's also an underlying security issue as well. So in terms of size and fears, according to the IAEA, Turkey intends to build its first nuclear power plant in the most seismically stable region. The first image shows where earthquakes have occurred in the past 30 years, and the second image shows where the 3 power plants were proposed to be built. You can definitely see that the areas that were chosen show a smaller rate of earthquakes, but it's still worrying that that number is not zero. The US Regulatory Commission confirmed the safety of the QU site, but according to Turkish opposition lawmaker Ali Mahir Basarur, he said this January that there is a tragedy being established on a foundation that has already cracked twice. Our country is being pulled into an irreversible calamity because the QU is an earthquake zone. The foundation is entirely composed of water. If there is an earthquake following the construction, the Mediterranean and the Mersey will be faced with a tragedy. And it's also worth noting that a 6.2 Richter scale earthquake has hit Adana, which is 180 kilometers from the plant site. And I think it's very relevant to the matter of security. I believe it's relevant to note that the possibility of producing nuclear weapons arises with any nuclear power plant. It's not specifically an issue to do with Turkey, but the development of covert weapons program on the road to weapons generally begins with a seemingly benign reactor. So Turkey and nuclear armed Pakistan have been strengthening military cooperations, for example. And there's no accusation in this matter, it's just an analysis of risk. You have Saudi Arabia and Jordan looking into developing nuclear power plants. Israel is thought to have nuclear weapons. Iran is likely on the way to developing them if they haven't already. So in not the most stable region, having all of these nuclear power plants could become an issue. Nuclear reactors could become a prime target should instability occur, and Turkey isn't enemyless. I mean, what has been happening with Syria and the Kurdistan Workers' Party, for example, should something happen, it is a possibility that a power plant could be targeted. So, in conclusion, the move towards producing more home-produced energy shows that Turkey is transitioning. At the end of 2017, at least 30% of Turkey's electricity generation came from renewable sources. Foreign dependence for energy has been driving a significant share of Turkey's current account deficit. Turkey has a large manufacturing and engineering base. Moving towards producing this amount of energy would create jobs that Turkish people can fill. However, the dependency on Russia for energy, be it natural gas or crude oil that already imports from them, or the financial dependency on the QU project means that Turkey is under Russia's energy thumb, and it will likely stay there into the future. So, a few discussion points. So, in your opinion, is Turkey becoming more or less dependent on foreign powers to supply them energy? Is a move towards nuclear energy a smart move for Turkey? And why has Turkey chosen nuclear energy as opposed to other renewable energies? So, here's my bibliography, and to thank you again for listening, and I apologise for the delay, and thank you for